Hi everyone. Well, I tell you, this place was a nightmare. I just pulled in here. No, I wasn't gonna drink anything like that. I just checked on this place. This is where they do karaoke, and I was gonna sing a song called Centerfield, just possibly because I know the gatherings of karaoke. And well, anyway, so I pull in here. Oh my God. I mean, there's a fight outside, this yelling, screaming. I could feel it right away, So I, see there. Well, anyway, so here's the deal. So the really big guy, I mean, geez, kid's 6'4", muscular. He's in the face of two guys. One of them I know, he's a generally over guy, a little heavy set, not judging by his weight. And then the other guy is there as well. He's the bouncer. Not a very good bouncer, by the way, because he's like, he's like 58 and not very muscular. He used to be a paramedic, but anyway. So here's the story. The guy that he'd been drinking too much, and he's actually, I think he used to be employed there, employed certain times, but I'm not sure. The guy who was. But he's yelling at them, both of them, saying, "Hey, man, you said this and you said that, and you were this crap and this and that, right?" And it gets really ugly because he's got his fists ready to start swinging at the two, and they're just yelling at each other. So I interject myself as a third one on there and standing in between them, trying to bring calmness. God, calm. Anyway. So to bring calmness to the situation, I'm using my words and relax, this and that. So anyway, one of the guys, the big muscular individual that was intoxicated, his friend comes up and grabs him around the neck and so on, not too tight, but just holding him in his chest to make sure he can't swing, all right? And tell him to relax too and stuff, and trying to calm him down. And this guy had muscles like you wouldn't believe, man. I mean, this guy's a weightlifter like 5 times, like the size of your head, his muscles. Well, anyway, his friend. So, and they're sitting there screaming, they're arguing over, what was said, this and that. He goes, "I didn't say that, this and that." You just walk away from the situation. In those situations, you're not gonna gain anything. So as the bouncer, they're all just sitting there arguing over this and that and saying this, and it just takes a better man to walk away, or lady, than put up a fight on this one. You just walk away, right? Instead, it keeps it instigating and pushing it, the bouncer, and also, this other guy. Just keep. And so, and at one point, he actually never gets in somebody's face. He gets in the guy's. That's why it says "Don't get in my face," because the people. He gets up and he goes, "I didn't do that to you." The bouncer, he goes, "I didn't do that to you." And then immediately he jumps forward and he's trying to start to swing. And the other guy grabs him and holds him back, because he's pushing the guy's buttons. And then the security guard yells at me because I'm like, the guy knows me. I said, "I'm just trying to protect you." He goes, "I'll bounce you out of here too." He goes, "I'm a bouncer here," and he goes, "I'll get you out of here too." Instead, he goes, "You get out of here. You get out of this." Well, I'm getting in it because you're not handling it very damn well. You know what I mean? So, shit. Oh, I didn't mean to cuss, folks. I'm sorry. That's my pen. I apologize. Anyway, lead by example in words are spells. So anyway, it's just, just say, "We'll talk about it tomorrow." Said, "You drunk?" That's what a rule about. Say, "Hey, bud, relax. Don't worry about it." It's a true human being. I have to say, "You've been drinking too much. I think there's misunderstanding, and so just, we'll talk about it tomorrow. Just cut the situation off. You ain't gonna win. You ain't gonna win by standing there and just let it go. I mean, stupid. I mean, the drama, the dang drama. You know what I mean? And the stupidity of it all. I mean, seriously, it's just ridiculous, folks. God, grow up. Grow up, you kidding me? I mean, seriously, but it's the testosterone, it's the ego, it's the, I'm gonna be a macho man. I call it the Nacho Man. Now, yeah, I know, I didn't realize that Simpsons had actually that they did that before, because I was listening to his music, I heard the Macho Man, and I said, oh, that sounds like Nacho. And I was gonna do a remix like Weird Al Yankovic, Nacho Man, I wanna be a Nacho Man. And I think that, and so anyway, I started to look to see if somebody already done it. The Simpsons did it. I was like, you kidding me? Oh, dang it. Well, they only did the first verse, that, so I can't even remember the rest of the words. But anyway, so my point is this: just be mature and don't. I know you all wouldn't do this anyway. It's just the drama, it's just like ridiculous. Even the ones that aren't drinking will get involved. You should see everybody standing around it, woo, hooray, we got to see feeding off emotion, energy, emotion, and us all like garbage. I mean, wow, folks. It's just amazing. Just amazing when you step back and you realize how fake people are and how fake this world is. I mean, not the fakeness of the news, the fakeness of our reality. That's what blows my mind, because I was suckered into, not about the fighting stuff, I was just suckered into people's behaviors that they're so trained to behave a certain way that's just amazing how they've all been trained like a good little dog, right? You just obey and obey to the behaviors of society. Because once I was removed from that situation, I got to think the other side for this, the spiritual realm is, once you get away, and it takes time, it does. It took me time to meld away from all that programming, all that mindset, and have a paradigm shift to a new mind. And that's what really being reborn was for me, is being reborn in my mind, my soul, my spirit, and seeing things from a different light. You know what I mean? Because once you see through the drama, once you see through the behaviors of people, they're almost all the same. They're, I'm talking about, it's hard to describe the normalcy of the way they behave. They talk about, well, such and such at work did this and that, and blah blah blah. They'll be out there hiking in the woods, talking about the drama stuff. Well, can you believe she did this and he did that, and blah blah blah. And my God, can you believe this? And oh my gosh, and I, this and that. And I'm like, whoa, really? But even their behaviors, if you sit down and watch people's behaviors, the way they act, it's so fake and artificial that, and we've had more of that with the Mandela effect of people really becoming just weird, like some are just absolute zombies, right? But then you got this thing where that was what's difficult for me, is that you got this other side of the coin where I just didn't realize how fake people are. I didn't realize, I used to even family members, I look back at the Thanksgivings about things that were talked about, like, there'd be my brother's wives and their same old story about, well, I've got my kids signed up for piano lessons, and I got them into art and an art class. I got one of the sons, he's playing wrestling and also doing football, and just which is fine. Sports are good, right? But just going on about how much, how good of a mother I am, and I'm a special soccer mom, and I'm a power woman, and it's just ridiculous, right? I was just looking back at it. It's like, God, it's so. You should have heard these conversations. Just such stupidity. Really. Wow. On and on about how great my kids are and everybody else's is trash and garbage. Yeah, and my brother, him and his wife, I shouldn't talk behind people's backs, but that's fine because I'm going to. Sorry, Todd and Tracy, because yeah, I'm gonna tell the truth on this one. They used to go on vacation, right? And she would spend the entire time. They take these really luxurious vacations to beaches in Mexico and really great places, right? All inclusive. Well, it's funny because my brother, he said he didn't want to go on these darn vacations anymore because he says always the same thing. I'd end up just making sure I'm on the right path here. Okay, he said I always ended up, being with, because he has 3 kids, in the beach, out there in the waves and trying to play with the kids, and basically, taking care of him. And his wife would sit there, drinking margaritas and while he did it, he goes, I can't stand it. He goes, I'm the one that ends up taking care of the kids the entire time, and it's not a family deal. Well, she sat on her rear end on the beach. He says, horrible. He said, she didn't want to be a part of it with help and all this other crud, So anyway, trying to make sure. Okay. So, but here's what's really interesting about it is that she would have, Twitter photos, she'd have Facebook photos. He said the only thing, it acted like they were having this big family affair, and he said it was just a joke because she'd come right off there off the beach, tanning and drinking, and say, oh, let's get a family photo so it looked like they're all like, in the water and having a great time, and then she'd send it off to Facebook, this and that, and she'd be back to her thing, She was living a fake world. She wanted this perception of how she's this family lady and really there and having a great time. He says, no, it's just miserable. So people even project a fake reality. They want to project a fake reality to the rest of the world about who they are and what they're doing. And it's like, why don't you just be that person anyway? Why didn't you just put down the drinks, put down the, you're sitting on there and just enjoying yourself and tanning and sitting there on the beach while your husband's out there busting his butt. He said he's exhausted every day because, it's always the same thing, wake up next day, right? I mean, I've heard these stories so many times, and it's not just the ladies about, it's guys too, but, really just not partaking really in the family deal, right? I mean, I've heard stories, hey, I'm never going to cruise again with my wife because the entire time she was getting massages and stuff, and she would be sleeping all day and partying all night and drinking and massages and this and that. We're talking like dentists and eye physicians, their wives, really, and saying, I'd spend the whole day. It's like, he said this is the most boring. One was a former manager. He goes, I just got sick and tired of doing things by myself. He said it was horrible. He said, I'm never going to cruise again because we do the same thing every cruise, every time. So, anyway, sorry about my rant. But anyway, I'll let you go. So, welcome to, I'm seriously, I don't mean to go on about it. People are just so fake. Even before the Mandela effect, even before all this, I never realized it. They're not true souls, they're not real people. It's amazing. It's hard to even describe it all. It just, the whole, the artificial reality that the people ourselves have created. It's just all artificial. I mean, geez. And what scares me is when I start looking at these things, I'm thinking, oh my goodness, there's very few people that are real, true people, real, true human beings. They're all caught up in this game, the game of life, and they're playing by this mindset of this. So anyway, hopefully I can provide more detail about that later. I'm just tired. God bless y'all. Love y'all.